Hey guys, this is Nick from cryptosfornoobs.com with the weekly crypto analysis. Today is Saturday, the 5th of May 2018, and the time is 13:03 here in the UK. You're looking at a BTC USD daily chart. In today's analysis, we're going to be looking for price action setups on these four pairs here. That's BTC USD, Ether USD, Litecoin USD, and Ripple USD. So let's get started. All right, so BTC USD is finally starting to head up. In last week's analysis, I talked about, pretty much this move that's happening right now. If I recall, I was talking about a kind of bounce like that and a continuation up. So it looks like that happened, but it took a lot longer than I was expecting. Instead of doing kind of a bounce like this, it was more like, and it's still not actually gone all the way up, but it looks like it's headed on its way up. So, what happened here was price broke up above a pretty strong resistance area. Now that resistance has become support and it can't really get back below it. It made several attempts at getting back below it, but just didn't quite happen. So now it's on its way up. I'm thinking if it's probably going to find some, actually, you know what? I should place a resistance area here. That 10,000 is a pretty strong psychological barrier for Bitcoin. And now we've got that 10,000 plus the 200 SMA, the 200 MA. I call it the SMA because back when I started trading, a lot of people called it the SMA, but these days it gets confused with the smooth moving average. So it's just the 200 MA, 200 moving average. The 200 moving average is like a moving support and resistance area, essentially. When price hits that area, it tends to kind of pull back from it. You can see several occasions which it has recently. Now, when that area, when the 200 MA lines up with one of my support resistance areas or a major psychological level like the 10,000 point, then it can become pretty strong resistance. So Bitcoin does have some very strong resistance to deal with right here. Is it going to break through? Well, I mean, it could do. It certainly looks like buyers or bulls are taking control of price. It looks like they want to get above this level. So what I'm looking for right now is I'm looking for price to break above the 10,000. And then I'm looking for a kind of similar move to what we've seen recently. So recently on BTC USD, we've seen this kind of typical trend type move. Here it was a little slower, but recently we've been seeing this kind of move. So I want to see that same kind of thing happen. Price breaking above here, coming down to here, and then continuing up. So if price breaks above this 10,000, the 10,000 will become support instead of resistance. And then when it comes back down, there's potential to get in for a long trade. Now I'm already long on BTC USD. I have been from pretty much down here somewhere. So for me, I'll probably just be holding this position if it breaks through this area. Now, the other scenario is that price is just going to stall out at this 10,000 level and just not break through, just turn around here. That's definitely possible too. That's something we have to keep an eye out on. So what I'm going to be looking for on BTC USD is I'm just going to be watching the next few days how price forms along this area. If price stalls out along this area, if price just stalls here, then I might be looking to exit my long position, which I talked about entering last week. I might be looking to exit my long position if it stalls out along here. If price manages to break up here in the next 2 or 3 days, break up above the 10,000, then fall back down. I'll be looking to add to my position or just keep my position open for an ultimate target of around about 11,500 or 12,000. I do think it has some good, especially if it breaks above the 10,000, I think it's probably good to go to at least 12,000. Well, no, I should say at least 11,500, but probably a bit higher than that, probably to the 12,000. As for the other cryptos, I mean, they're pretty much doing the same thing as BTC USD. There's not that much difference. They're almost mirror images of each other. Ether is looking slightly different. Ether is looking quite good right now. it's really trending up. We have an area here, the 800 on Ether. It's a decent support resistance area. Price is just pulling above it right now. If it gets above it and then falls back down to it, I'll be looking for a long continuation here. So there's definite potential to get into a continuation of this trend if it pulls back to the 800 support area after breaking through it. It's not quite broken through it yet, but it's about to. So after breaking through it, if it comes back down to test it, I'll be looking to get into a long there. Very similar situation with LTC USD. If it breaks above this area, this area here, which is roughly the 173, comes back down to it, I'll be looking for a potential long continuation there. And finally, we got Ripple, which is just being very, very messy lately. I don't really see any potential setups here. It's in between support resistance. It's not moving that much. It's a bit of a messy one, so I'm just gonna ignore this one for this coming week. Well, that wraps things up for the crypto analysis for this week. Keep a close eye on BTC USD for breaks above 10,000, and keep a close eye on Ether USD and LTC USD for breaks above the current resistance areas and pullbacks to those resistance areas for continuation trades. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next week.